Alright, g'day everybody, hope you're well. Okay, so this I am going to be doing about Bitcoin. So a couple of questions. Got Zach Levi. Has Bitcoin dominance increased? Yeah, I'll show you that chart. Actually, it's a good point. I'll bring that chart up in just a moment. But yeah, obviously with Bitcoin approaching all-time highs now and the number of things starting to sort of tick over in the market and look very strong, I wanted to give a bit of an in-depth analysis as to what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. Okay, well, North Korea, wow, cool. Stay safe. Yeah, so I wanted to sort of just go through and break a few things down, see what has been working, see what I'm looking at, and where we could potentially move to from here. Okay, so before I do that, let me just go across to here and have a look at that dominance chart, because yesterday it did have one of its biggest days in quite some time, dominance-wise. It was up nearly 2%. All right, so Bitcoin's dominance increasing by about 2%. And you can see we haven't really had a big day like that since sort of back here where it was 3.7%. Of course, through the Christmas period, we saw dominance go all the way up to nearly 74. You know, very, very strong dominance on Bitcoin there. We've held throughout this level. I do use this chart. Sometimes it's helpful. Other times it's not. I mean, a chart's a chart. Don't forget that. Anything that I look at, any way that I trade, I read every chart the same. Every single chart I will read exactly the same as I had the last one. That's why I've been able to come to crypto after being somebody in traditional markets for so long. Let's go back to, oh, look at that. Yeah, obviously back in 16, it was nearly all Bitcoin, wasn't it? And then as the alts came in, we progressively fell through 17. Let's have a look at this, because this is quite interesting. Obviously, there's some data missing. What's the 13th to 4th? Actually, that's weird. It looks as though something happened there, but you know, that's a big gap. It does have the dates being correct from the 13th to the 14th, but this is really where, you know, we started to see this strength in Bitcoin in its big run. Have a look through here. You know, this is September, and then we really Bitcoin went bonkers through November, December. Alts then went crazy, and then of course leading into the back end of the year, we saw Bitcoin regain that dominance. Now, what can that tell me? Honestly, I don't know. It's not something that I put too much thought into. I just decided to have a look there. But the resistance that we broke out of, it did bode well for Bitcoin and its dominance increasing. And now we're sitting on that same support. So the old resistance from back here has acted as pretty strong support there. And if we look at the weekly chart as well, you can see it through there. You can see the resistance clearly, and you can see the support there clearly. As far as trend goes, there isn't one. All right. So just a bit of a bit of an understanding. Bitcoin yesterday having that strong day, and it was quite an interesting day. You know, if I just scroll through a couple of these charts, you'll see many of these will have red candles for yesterday. Yeah, see, red. Oh, that was green, red. We're on the daily here, by the way. APRA was up. Many were down, so Bitcoin got the better of most alts. And the other interesting thing that I found, if I go to my FTX list, was that even though Bitcoin was up yesterday, many markets were down. What's that actually? Hang on, let me just have a quick look at that. Let's back in that zone. Let's have a look at that in the 12. Huh. On 400 round number. All right. I'm going to put that on my watch list. Yeah, many of these markets did have a fall yesterday, as you can see going through here. There were some that were up, of course, but many that did fall. So many of the higher market caps fell. Of course, that's why we saw Bitcoin's dominance increase, but Bitcoin, it was still up. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is, first of all, I want to start on this daily chart. Sorry, I want to back it out a bit further, actually. We'll go from the weekly and we'll work our way down. We saw this pullback over here. All right, a pullback to 28, 30%. And from there, we've seen, I think was it about 100% move, I think it was? Yeah, there you go, 105. Call it 100%. So we saw a 100% move from the last pullback. Now, this now needs to really be described as a bit of a pullback here. Why? Because we pulled back and we've bounced. The bullish candle last week has been broken. What is that pullback? That was another 27%. So if we had 100%, let me just do this. From the last pullback, let's just do what the move did last time. All right, hang on. Gonna need to squish this little fella up a little bit more. 100% gets us to Yeah, about 86,000, which is a lovely sounding number. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen, by the way. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. All I've got to work with here, g'day Winston, is to, Somasundaram, sorry if I've, Sam, sorry, I just read the next message. Hi, Sam. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn your notifications on. Give it the thumbs up and all that sort of stuff, please. Helps out. But yeah, so just working on the past, that's, it puts us at 86,000. But the thing is, right, we got to look at Bitcoin and what's being said about it, because a lot of times things become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, you've heard a laser rise to 100,000, and that's the big number. Lots of talk about 100,000. A lot of people are suggesting that we may get there. I don't see why not. But it is a big, it's a fairly decent step from here. All right, it's not out of the ordinary. We just got double, and we are there. So we're looking quite strong there on that weekly. Now, if I come down to the 4-day, and you'll remember me talking about the 4-day on one of the FTX videos, I think it was. Okay, you'll see the bullish candle. So here's, again, using history. I trade everything from the cradle zone when it comes to a cradle. It's my equilibrium point. It's the point at which I get interested to start looking for trading opportunities. And I'm not sure, mate. We'll keep going through this, and we'll build a bit of a picture. But it's because it just works. It's as simple as that. Any chart, any market, anything at all. Throw in your 10 and 20 EMAs, and if it's trending, have a look. You'll see. It does work. It doesn't mean you always get profit. Doesn't mean you always get a trade. But it's a very good point of equilibrium to pull back into. We saw a 4-day bullish candle back here at the end of our pullback. When it broke the high, well, that was the move. We saw a 4-day bullish candle right here. It's broken the high, and it has since started to move. Now, we're still only, at about, I'm hoping that this candle that we see here is this candle that we see here. Okay? So that ended up being a 21% candle. Excuse me. And it was the 3rd week. All right? So we saw, and that was the 3rd week to break the all-time highs that were set back here around 42,000. So here's the candle, broke the high, which means there's the candle, broke the high. So this red candle is this candle here. This candle here is this candle here. And the next candle was the one that went, see you later, all-time highs. I'm out of here. And we pushed on. So again, that for me, again, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. What it is just analysis based on what has been happening, on the strength of the trend, and my understanding of how to read a market and based on probabilities. So currently we've got MACD, as price made a higher high over here. MACD is also convergent. Now, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. This trend is still very strong. Once again, that doesn't mean it's going to continue. It just means that now it is strong. Okay? So if we were to see a candle like that, hopefully we do see that, we're going to push right up through those all-time highs and smash through 60K, then I do think we will see in this next run, 86 to 100, maybe even plus. It was the second run on Bitcoin back in 17. Let me take you back to that. I'll show it to you. Just going to zoom out a bit. There it is. Let's go back in time. So, run up, pull back. Pull back 1, run up, pull back 2. It was the 3rd run that really set sails. There's a bit of pullback there too, to be fair. But this run here was really, we did move from that 3,000, I remember that very, very well, to that high, which was 170%. Then a wee bit of a pullback. But overall, from that second pullback, and again, this is not suggesting it's going to happen, it's just looking at what we've got, was 600%. Now, we get 600% from where we are now. We're all rich. Let's just go to bed. I mean, go to bed. Well, yeah, go to bed. Go fishing. But we've had that first pullback. I'm calling it this. This is our second one, and this could really be a blast through to some very, very strong levels and big, big numbers. Coming back to the 2-day as well. So I showed you on the 4-day that the catalyst for the next leg up that we saw recently was the break of the high. We've seen the break of the high here as well. All right. It also backs up with a 2-day. So these have turned out, these could turn out to be quite good indicators for trend and for when to get, when the market gets going. We saw it here on the 2-day. Okay, it took a little bit of time, But then we saw again, break, very good run. Here's the bullish candle, broke, very good run. Here's the bullish candle, break, and so far so good. So again, another time frame and another tool that I use to help me make my analysis. Josiah, can you see the CME gap filling anytime soon? No, I don't put any weight at all into that gap. None at all. The gap's not real. There's no gap. It's just because the CME stops trading and blah blah blah. I put zero weight in it at all. Nothing. But no, I don't think it'll fill because it doesn't exist to me. So yeah, no, that's not me going, that's just my general 100% honest opinion. I don't think the gap means diddly squat, and I think that too many people put too much time into it. The same as, you remember back when CME futures came out, everyone's like, oh, it's expiry time, the futures are expiring, or the rollovers are occurring, and blah, 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 and all that sort of stuff. I was like, why does anyone care? And I understand why they don't care. It's because a lot of people that trade crypto haven't traded anything else. I've traded futures for years, so I understand that no one gives a shit when it comes to expiration time. Not if they trade the way that I do and we use CFDs, or in this case, any margin product, right? It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't mean a thing. I think it was just because it was something new, people were concerned about it. Don't worry about that. Possibility of a C wave, a Cobb wave. You've got one. There you go. Haha. Funny stuff, Craig. I don't know what a C wave is. I don't use Elliott wave. When's the 4-day candle end? Well, let's have a look. That one will end on the 14th of March in 2 days and 23 hours, as it suggests, just up the hair. So, bit of time to go, but look, at the end of the day, I'm liking what I'm seeing right here. I'm really liking what I'm seeing right here, and it'd be really nice to see. And today could be the day where we do push on through on. Let's go a bit lower now, back to our daily. So higher low, higher high, which is great. We saw a higher low. That was the Elon Musk thing. Higher low here, and then we started the move. We didn't see it turn into a downtrend here like we did back in January. There was a lower high, then we went to lower low, and then we, kicked on. This time around, we were still in an uptrend, and then we came and pulled back. As I was commentating through all of it, it was pretty much exactly what I was hopeful for. When we started to pull back on the daily, I was like, okay, well, hopefully we get a bullish candle for a higher low. It's done that. I feel really that I am in the zone at the moment when it comes to this market, when it comes to crypto and Bitcoin. So I'm feeling good about it. The higher low has reset that trend now. This means that the trend is now up, even though it hasn't broken these highs. There's a higher low and a higher high. I can see Bitcoin breaking these highs. I can. And I can see it happening today. I'm not suggesting that it will, but I can see it happening. There's no reason why not. And here's the reason. Here's where I bring that from. I've taken you through the weekly. It's bullish. I've taken you to the 4-day. It's bullish. I've taken you to the 2-day. It's bullish. I've taken you to the 1-day. It's bullish. All convergent, all signs of a very strong and healthy market and a very strong and healthy trend. Because whether this would be Bitcoin or, your nan's curtains, if it was charted, it doesn't matter. The chart is strong as an ox. Any other theories, thoughts, ideas about Bitcoin, they're all outside of my brain box. I couldn't give two hoots about it. Don't care. Because the chart's all I need to be able to make my decisions with my money. So what I'm seeing here as I come to the 4 hour is this: higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. There was also the potential for two trading opportunities there. Cradle 1, profit. Cradle 2, profit. So not only is Bitcoin offering or looking very strong, it's offering up entries. The two pullbacks that we've had have both been tradable pullbacks. Thanks, Bitcoin. I wasn't there for either of them, though. But anyway, you can't catch them all, right? It's not Pokemon. So the 4 hour looks really, really strong. If I come down here now to the 2 hour, the problem I've got with the 2 hour from a trading perspective is that it's gone low to high. So I don't see this as being a potential area for a cradle trade. It just doesn't fit the bill quite well enough. So back to the 4 hour as is my midterm time frame. With that trend being strong, with that convergence being there, the pullback that we're seeing right now is quite healthy. Why? Because it could potentially be the springboard for our next move, and it's not going to take much to get us up through here. So if we do see this pullback, if I do get a bullish candle in that cradle zone, you betcha I'll be taking that, I'll be getting long, and I will not have any worries at all about the thoughts of all-time highs, because this bloody chart is an absolute ripper and Bitcoin looks strong as an ox. All right. Now, if you don't understand what the heck I'm talking about here, that's on you. If you're new here, that's not on you. But you go to tradercobb.com, you get a free course there, and it will at least teach you the ingredients. You got to pay for the strategies, all right? If it's outside of your budget, I'm sorry, it is what it is, all right? They're bloody good. I know what I'm doing, and the people in my community are doing very, very well for the most part. There are people that don't do well, of course, but that's life. But you put your mind to it, you focus on this, guys. The dead set truth is you've got this. It's an opportunity you've got right now. Start with a free one if you like the cut of it. Move on as you wish. But I'm pumped. You know, I can see us smashing through this, and I can see it happening. It might not happen today, but there's no reason for it not to happen today. I can really see the strength in this market. I have been wrong before. I will be wrong again, but that's my take on Bitcoin. Big running flat high. Big running flat for YFI. What do you guys think? It's not on my watch list. Is it too late to get signed up with your previous discount? Sure is, Will. But if you jump onto the website and you hit the little chat box, I'm sure someone will get in touch, mate, and help you out. Do what you can. You know, speak to the team. They take care of that sort of stuff. I take care of this sort of stuff. And speaking of taking care of stuff, I've got to get out of here because I got stuff to take care of. I'm keeping an eye on Bitcoin. It's looking very strong. Stay safe. Stay well. Call your mates. Check they're okay. And let's do this. Bitcoin of all time.